Video production companies no longer function like they used to. And if you're trying to go video production company the old way, you're fighting an uphill battle that will leave you burnt out and broke. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you one strategy that took me from doing everything solo to landing a $500,000 project without hiring any full-time employees. I call it building your theme park. And if you're a creative professional feeling stuck and unable to take the next step, this is going to completely change the way that you think about scaling your business. I've run my own production company for over a decade now, and I've made every mistake that you're probably making right now. I was the shooter, the editor, the client manager, the everything. I was making decent money, but I was miserable. I was working 60, 70, 80 plus hour weeks. My income was directly tied to the number of hours I could physically be on set. That was up until about 6 years ago when I realized that something had to change. And I noticed that the most successful studios that I was following, they weren't operating like this. They operate like theme parks. Let me explain. You need to stop trying to be the best at everything and start building an environment where people come to do their best work. Let's just think about Disneyland for a second. Walt Disney wasn't the best animator, he wasn't the best engineer, and he wasn't the best storyteller. But he built a place where the best animators, the best engineers, and the best storytellers all wanted to come and do their best. And then, once they were there, most of them stayed for their entire careers. That's what your studio needs to become. I'm not saying that you're going to build the next Disney World, but hear me out here. Think of your business as a theme park for talented creatives. Now, here's why this works so well for video production. Specifically, when you try to do everything yourself, you hit a ceiling, and it doesn't take long for you to hit that ceiling. You may have felt some form of hitting that ceiling already. For example, you can only be on set for a certain amount of time. You can only edit so many hours per week, and your income is capped by your time. But when you build a theme park, when you build something that can sustain whether you're there or not, something happens. You start attracting skilled creatives who love the work and are also incredible at it, by the way. These people make your projects better, way better than you ever could on your own. And obviously that's one of the goals, right? One of the goals is to create better work. And then when your projects get better, you start to attract bigger clients with bigger budgets. And when you have bigger budgets, you can start to work with even better people. It's a flywheel. Great people leads to great work. Great work leads to bigger clients. Bigger clients lead to better people. And the growth of your studio becomes a byproduct of doing what you love. You're not grinding yourself into the ground trying to do everything. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and that is intentionality. When you show that you actually give a shit about the craft and that you care enough that you are actively investing into projects as a company by bringing in world-class talent, other world-class talent starts to pay attention. Your name starts to get out there just because of the sheer proximity you have to these amazing people and these amazing creatives. And eventually, your production company becomes synonymous with quality and pushing creative boundaries. And that's pretty cool. Don't worry, don't feel like you have to have some big portfolio or some fancy client list in order to attract this type of talent. Obviously, while that helps, just be intentional about the way that you present yourself in the marketplace. All right, so how do you actually do this? I'm going to assume that it's just you for now. And if you have a few teammates already, you can probably just amplify some of these steps. So let me break down the exact process. Step 1, identify your weakest link or your bottleneck. Watch your last 3 projects back to back. Don't watch them as a creative, watch them as a client. What's the one thing that makes them feel less professional than the work you aspire to create? You know what I mean? The stuff that the guys that you look up to are creating. Is it your audio? Is it your lighting? Is it your color grading? Is it your motion graphics? For me, it was audio. I was a decent shooter, I could edit, I could tell a story, but my audio was terrible. I couldn't ever get it to sound like the stuff on the TV. I just didn't realize how much work and such a skill set it was. I didn't really realize how much it was holding me back until I brought in a professional audio tech for one project. And the difference was completely night and day. So write down your weakest link or your bottleneck right now. That's your starting point. Step 2 is to bring in one specialist. And this, again, is probably for companies or businesses or individuals that haven't actually brought in talent before. So I'm assuming that we're starting at ground zero here. Start with one. You don't need to hire everyone off the bat. Just start with one position. And I know what you're thinking, but I can't afford to hire someone. And let's just reframe this. You can't afford not to hire someone. If you've been stagnated for a certain period of time, whether it's months or years at this point, You can't afford not to bring someone in to help you get to the next level, because otherwise you'll be looking 5 years from now and realizing that you haven't moved or haven't improved over that. And that is one of the most disheartening things that you could absolutely do. But essentially, not doing this has gotten you to where you are, and doing this can take you to where you aspire to be. Right now, you're spending time doing something you're not good at anyway, which means that you're delivering a product that's not as good as it could be, which means that you're not charging the rates that you should be either. When I brought in that audio person years ago, yeah, I had to pay him, but my projects immediately started to look and feel like how I wanted them to look and feel. I felt more comfortable charging more. I could attract and speak more confidently to bigger and better clients. And suddenly, paying him wasn't a cost, it was an investment that paid for itself. That one breakthrough I can attribute directly to scaling my studio to $400,000 months. So for your next project, bring in that one specialist who can fix that one weak link or one bottleneck in your business. You're going to see a difference immediately. Your clients are going to see a difference, and you're going to realize that you don't have to be doing everything yourself. Step 3 is building relationships, not rosters. This is the key difference between building a theme park and building a traditional agency. You're not hiring a team of 20 people. In fact, I would promote you to actively avoid doing that. You're not putting people on payroll. You're building a network of incredible specialists who you can bring in project by project. And here's why this is so powerful. Because there's no crazy overhead to manage during the industry ebbs and flows. There's no HR headaches. It's simple and easy. And you only pay the talent when you need it. And because you're only bringing in specialists who are genuinely better than you are at a specific thing, your work keeps getting better and better, which means that you keep attracting bigger and better clients, which means that you can afford to work with even bigger and better people. And as I mentioned earlier, the flywheel keeps spinning and spinning. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. Once you've built your theme park, you can start climbing up what I call the leverage ladder. This is how you go from $50K a month to $100K a month and beyond. So rung 1 on the ladder, you're trading time for money. This is where most creatives start. You shoot, you edit, you deliver, you get paid. But your income is capped by your hours. Rung 2 is leveraging specialists. Now that you're bringing people in who are better than you at specific things, your projects can get better and you can charge more, but you're still involved in every project. Rung 3 is leveraging systems. Now that you have a documented process, you can hand off your entire projects to your team. You're not in the weeds anymore. You're working on the business, not in the business. Rung 4 is leveraging relationships. And this is really where the magic happens. You've built a strong network of talented people that clients start coming to you specifically because of who you can assemble. You're not selling your skills anymore. You're selling access to the best team for the specific project. And you, as the business owner, and I'm going to assume the executive producer in this role, your job is in charge of assembling, and your skill set is in charge of bringing the best team to any given project that can maximize your profits and execute at the highest level. This is how I scaled my studio from $80,000 projects to over $500,000 projects. I wasn't getting better at shooting, I was actively getting better at assembling world-class teams. And the beautiful part about this, at this level, you get to work on the projects that you genuinely want to work on. I'm very rarely on set these days, but when I am, it's because I actively want to be there. I actually want to be a participant in what's happening on set. I want to interact with the crew. I want to be the bridge between the client and the crew and the director. I'm genuinely excited about the times that I'm on set now because I'm not on set every single day. And that's a great thing. Some of you might think that's a bad thing, but as an owner of a business, which is who you are as an entrepreneur, your goal is not necessarily to be on set every day. Your goal is to build a theme park where all of these things can be happening and you're overseeing all of it. Everything else, your team handles. And honestly, they'll do it better than you ever could because they are specialists. Now, rung 5 on the ladder is leveraging your reputation, and this is the final rung. At this point, your theme park has become so well known that the best talent seeks you out. The best clients seek you out, and you're not chasing work anymore. Obviously, this is the dream. Work is chasing you and not the other way around. And you get to be selective about the type of work that you say yes to. Some of you are probably watching this right now, and the thought of saying no to any kind of work is mind-blowing. But ultimately, like when you get to maybe $50,000 a month, you you say no to a lot of work because you have a set standard on the type of work that you accept, and anything that comes below a certain dollar value, you say no to. And you have to do that because there's only a certain amount of capacity that you have. Even if you have a large team, you need to be able to say no to projects so you don't get dragged down by the bottom 80% of clients who are paying you the least, but taking up the most of your time. And so rung 5 is where you have true freedom. You're making great money, you're working with incredible people because you've built a theme park that attracts incredible people, and you're doing the work that you love without burning out. That's the goal. That's what building your theme park gets you. So let me give you a real example of how this works. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to pitch on a project that was around $500,000, a massive jump for us in terms of average order value, and something that we were seemingly extremely underqualified for. If I'd pitched it with my existing portfolio and my existing team, there's no way that we would have won the job. The client would have looked at it and said that they've never done anything at this scale. So here's what I did. I reached out to a director that I'd been following for years, someone whose work that I genuinely admired, and I said, look, I've got this great project that's come through, it's an opportunity for us, and it's a perfect fit for your style. Would you be interested in collaborating with us on it? And he said yes, because it was a good project, it had a good budget, he was available, and our theme park was something that he was interested in. So we built the pitch together. His name, his portfolio, his approach was front and center, and we won the project. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about winning that one project. From working with him, we learned so much about how to operate at this level, how to communicate with clients who have bigger budgets, how to structure proposals better, how to manage expectations. It's like having all of the cheat codes to a video game. It's advancing up the ladder without actually physically being there. It's looking in, it's a peek behind the curtain. This one project changed everything for us because now we had a $500,000 project on our portfolio, and that opened up other doors for more projects at that level. And that's the power of building your theme park. You're not limited by your own skills and experience, you're only limited by your ability to attract and work with top tier talent. Alright, so here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Action step 1 is watch your last 3 projects and identify your weakest link, your bottleneck. Make sure you write those down. Action step 2 is find that one specialist in your network who can fix that weak link. Like for me, it was audio. Maybe for you, it's your director of photography. Maybe you bring in an external director of photography who's extremely talented, or at least a few rungs above you on the type of work that they work on. Reach out to them, start building that relationship. Grab a coffee, have a Zoom call, whatever you want to do. Just introduce them so that the next time that you need them, it's not the first time you're talking to each other. Action step 3. For your next project, bring them in. See the difference, feel what it's like to not do everything yourself, and that's how you start building your theme park. And if you're a video production studio or creative professional doing less than $100,000 a month and you're serious about scaling, I'd love to help you get there. I work one-on-one with studio owners and help them navigate their current situation and put them in a position where they can scale more predictably and more enjoyably. There's no one-size-fits-all solution for this. Every business is different. But if you want to have a conversation about where you are and where you want to go, follow me on Instagram. My handle is linked in the description. DM me the word theme park and I'll send you over all the details. Now, if you found this video valuable, I've got this other video here that you'll find useful. In that video, I break down the exact mindset shifts that you need to make to go from freelancer to business owner. It's the perfect video to follow up from this one, so check it out right over here. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I put out videos every week on how to scale your creative business without burning out. All right, that's it. Go build your theme park and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.